Hi, this is Sarah Lacy with TechCrunch TV down here at sunny Southern California at All Things D with David Hornik.
Hello.
Hello, David is bailing me out because I've been doing too many hallway conversations that are off the record with people who won't be dragged on camera. And you're always willing to be dragged on camera.
I enjoy talking with you, Sarah. On camera, off camera.
Not at the lobby this year, unfortunately.
Well, I was going to say, that has nothing to do with me. There are two things that interrupt people from coming to the lobby: weddings, babies.
Yep, that's about it. So hopefully I'll have neither of those.
Good, next year.
So, we mentioned your conference to the lobby, which is sort of an homage to the fact that you are always in lobbies of conferences gossiping and rarely in this session.
It's never gossip. It's about
doing
industry conversation, doing business.
So I want to ask you a little bit about the stuff that you've actually seen on stage so far, but then also about, all of those super secret conversations you're having. You've been in the sessions more than usual.
I have. I find myself sitting and listening to what's being said. It's exciting.
So tell me what you thought about. I mean, I know there was Eric Schmidt last night. Dick Costello spoke today. Jack Dorsey.
Yep.
What were some of the things that jumped out at you about those guys?
What I'll tell you as an investor, right? What you spend all your time meeting with entrepreneurs, and the interesting thing is, right, you'd think that entrepreneurship is about, people want you to think that entrepreneurship is about getting rich.
Oh yeah.
Entrepreneurship, if it's successful, then everybody gets rich. And it turns out that that's true, right? That's a beautiful byproduct of entrepreneurship. But the people that you want to work with, they're not motivated. That's not their motivation, right?
Right.
And so if you listen to Jack Dorsey just now, or Dick Costello or Reed Hastings, all today talking about their businesses and how they're thinking about them, what they're building, whatever, it's about. I mean, Jack was explicit. It was like, I'm trying to make people's lives better here, right? Now, Kara Swisher called him on it, said, is this a movement or is it a business?
Right.
But I don't think that that's a dichotomy, right? I think that ultimately...
Well, and she had to ask him that 3 or 4 times, and it was clear that the question wasn't even translating with him. I mean,
he did.
There are certain people who sound phony when they talk about that, and there's certain people who just sound really genuine. And I think actually Andrew Mason was the same way. One thing that jumped out at me about both Andrew Mason and Jack Dorsey is, we're in this point of the cycle in Silicon Valley where it's so easy to start a company that most people would say there's a lot of people starting companies who probably shouldn't be entrepreneurs. And seeing both of them on stage talking about building their business, to me, was so emblematic of that is that thing you see in an entrepreneur when you know they are the guy who should be starting a company.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We saw this in the late 90s when it looked like there was a lot of money at the end of the rainbow. And so people, I've got to stop doing whatever I'm doing. Or, even this business with Peter Thiel and trying to convince students to stop going to college. No, I think it's insanity. I think it's terrible advice.
Do you think he's like an awful person for doing it, though? Are you as extreme as some people are?
No, I don't think he's evil. I just think it's dumb. Like, if I were the mother of one of these students, I'd say, really? This is
but it's 2 years. You want to go
so
start a
fine,
company, try it for 2 years?
Make $100,000 quitting school for 2 years, or here's the thing. But again, this is a bit like what we were talking about with startups, right? If you think that going to college is about increasing your earning potential, then fine, go stop doing it because maybe it's not increasing your earning potential. But when I talk to my children, I don't say, hey, can't wait for you to go to college so you can increase your earning potential, right? My oldest son intends to be an art history major. I'm fairly certain that no number of years as an art history major will repay his college education. So that can't be it, right? So on the other hand, I would not have him do anything else. Like, why would you?
Your children are also not going into $500,000 personal debt.
Well, no, okay, maybe. Here
that is a crucial difference.
But to be fair, like, I'm still paying off law school debt.
Are you?
Yeah, I have. Maybe I should pay it off.
You're a venture capitalist.
I should probably pay it off. I should probably pay it off. Yeah, every month it's subtract. I look at my my bank account statement. It says Sally Mae or whatever.
And how's that law career going?
Yeah, well, I've been in the VC now for 11 years, so. But I'm still, I'm still an inactive member of the bar because you just never know.
You never know.
I might need to represent you.
Probably.
So and when that day comes, I will re-engage. So anyway, okay, fine. I think that's fair. But it's not about, so what? It's not about earning potential. It's about the people that you engage with and meet and the conversations you have and the opportunities and all of that. So anyway, so if you look at company building today, I think people should be building companies because they can't think of anything else they'd want to do. Like that's when you should start a company.
And I think a lot of people are starting companies because why wouldn't they? Because it's so cheap and easy to get capital. Capitalization is so low. I mean, it's different things driving it than a 99.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of saying this is just like 99 because
it's not. It's not at all.
But you are seeing this phenomenon where there's a set of circumstances where if you're a kid who has a halfway decent idea and you're coming out of school, there's not a downside to starting a company. I mean, I think it's more that stuff's been taken away than it is.
Yeah. No, and I think that's right. I mean, the reality is that's also true. If you don't mind, if you can afford to live,
right.
The thing that I don't get is this, hurry up, you got to get out because time is of the essence. Well, look, by the time our kids get old, they'll be living to 100 or something. So if they miss 2 years, it's 2%. It's 2% of their lives. It's fine.
If you listen to the data that Ron Conway talked about at Disrupt, those are their best 2 years.
Yeah, come on.
Do you buy that the young entrepreneurs? No.
No, I mean I buy that there are great young entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
but what
you don't buy the athlete thing.
Well, they don't need as much sleep. I feel I need more sleep than I used to. I used to not sleep at all. Now I actually occasionally have to sleep. So I recognize that. But I don't know. It's sort of like, work smart. The reality is that there have been very interesting, important businesses built by very young people. And then there have been very interesting, it's like Andrew Mason is not 19. Ev Williams and Jack Dorsey and Mark Pincus, they're not 19. He's an old man. Like he's the Shaquille O'Neal of, although Shaq did just today announce on Twitter that he's retiring. A fine use of Twitter. See, look at that.
Poor the real Shaq.
But he has that giant Superman bed. You can't really feel that sorry for him.
He has his pool area is called Shacapoko.
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Do you have one of those?
Yeah, Hornik-a-Poko.
I would expect that of the Hornik house.
In Palo Alto, Hornik-a-Poko is like a deck the size of a postage stamp. Like, please enjoy yourselves.
Once again, you're a venture capitalist. You should be paying off law bills. You should be.
Look, you know what? I don't want to be frivolous.